酒吧夜场真的一定要少去。
The bar and nightlife scene is indeed a place worth reflecting on, especially for young people, particularly those from the post-95s and post-00s generations. They really should avoid going there. Many may not know, but nowadays, there are a lot of girls who work as companions in places like bars and KTVs. These places hold a strong attraction for young people, but the hidden risks are not to be underestimated. For example, recently, I came across a chilling news story about an incident that happened in Hunan. One night, a boy went to a bar and happened to encounter a social event. The event allowed participants to kiss any opposite-sex person in the venue. I think everyone knows what that represents, right? At least adults would understand. That night, after kissing a girl, the boy and the girl developed some chemistry, drank a little, and began to feel more relaxed. This led to some irrational decisions. The girl took the initiative and suggested that if the boy was willing to give her some money, she would accompany him. The boy, attracted to her looks and physique, and having had some drinks, could not resist the temptation and agreed. As a result, they went to a hotel together. However, after the incident, the boy started experiencing serious health issues, losing weight rapidly and running a persistent high fever. Coincidentally, his girlfriend, who happened to be studying medicine, took him to the hospital for an examination. The results were horrifying. The boy was diagnosed with HIV. This was undoubtedly a huge blow to both the boy and his girlfriend. The boy, enraged, went to find the girl and even contacted her family, trying to hold them accountable. But the girl's family claimed that she had already severed ties with them, and they no longer wanted anything to do with her. They told the boy to go directly to her if he had any problems, and that they would not intervene. The boy learned from her family that the girl had a troubled past and had been involved in this kind of work for a long time. Therefore, her participation in such activities at the bar was not new. In the end, the boy angrily went to the bar and found out that the bar had only temporarily hired this girl for that specific event. Her purpose was simply to attract these boys to spend money, thereby making a profit. You could say the boy was really unlucky, right? It's a pity, isn't it? But I think he should have known that places like this were unsafe. He chose to go to the bar and engage in such irrational behavior, so naturally, he shouldn't complain about the consequences. What's more, he already had a girlfriend, yet he still went ahead and did this, which is just inviting trouble. So it's not just bars. Any entertainment venue with unclear activities should be avoided as much as possible, especially when you don't know what kind of people you might encounter. Honestly, many people might think they can control the situation, but once they're deeply involved, the consequences could be unbearable. For young people who like going to bars and nightclubs, they really should take this as a warning. Don't wait until something irreparable happens and then regret it. Bars and nightclubs indeed have many improper transactions and risks. Many people only see the temporary joy but ignore the dangers behind it. I hope everyone can value their lives, make wise choices when it comes to entertainment venues, and not let momentary impulse and desire ruin their lives.
夜场在玄学里面属于至阴之地，去多了会走寿的。
Why should men try to avoid going to nightclubs? In fact, this is related to certain metaphysical views. In metaphysics, nightclubs are considered to be places of extreme yin, meaning they are places with the heaviest yin energy. Spending too much time in such an environment can have adverse effects on one's health, and even be believed to shorten one's lifespan. Why is this the case? Because many of the women in nightclubs tend to have some bad habits, which not only affect their own health, but may also spread infectious diseases to others. What's more important is that these infectious diseases are not detectable in the early stages with the naked eye. It is only when the condition progresses to a certain stage that symptoms begin to appear, such as high fever, weakness, itching, and even red spots on certain private areas. Once these symptoms appear, according to current medical knowledge, most people may never fully recover, and will only be able to manage the condition with regular treatments. The treatment process not only costs a lot of money, but also continues to cause suffering. Therefore, when I tell you about these issues, I'm not trying to scare you. I have a female friend who is a specialist in this area, and she deals with such cases every day. The first thing she often says to her patients is, "Have you been to a nightclub recently?" If the patient answers no, she will then ask, "Do you have a partner?" If the answer is yes, she suggests that the patient and their partner come in for a checkup. If the patient insists they don't have a partner, she will usually suspect that the patient is lying. This is because these symptoms don't appear for no reason. So, if you go to a nightclub and later experience any abnormalities in your body, be sure to go to the hospital for a checkup. Early detection and early treatment are key. When answering the doctor's questions, be honest and don't hide anything. You must understand that lying to the doctor is playing with your own health. Rest assured, the doctor won't laugh at you. Even if you have to undress in front of the doctor, they are used to it. But if you don't tell the truth in the end, it's only you who will suffer. If your work requires you to frequently go to nightclubs, then you must take protective measures. As for how to protect yourself, many people have an idea in their minds. Protecting your health is the most important thing. If you're just seeking temporary pleasure in the end, you might regret it for the rest of your life.
年轻的男孩子千万不要做夜场。
Young men, I honestly do not recommend that you get involved in the nightlife industry. The reason I want to discuss this topic is that recently, several friends have asked me to help introduce some job opportunities for their younger brothers or friends who want to work in the nightlife industry to earn some money. I know that many people's first reaction to nightlife may be, oh, those are pretty boys, male escorts. However, what is puzzling is why so many people still want to join this industry. The reason behind this might be that they see people working in this industry buying luxury houses, driving luxury cars, wearing expensive watches, and dressing in fancy clothes. Their lives seem glamorous and shiny, and these things can easily attract some young people, especially those who are less experienced and naive. They may think they can get rich without working hard, and the quick wealth is more tempting than working diligently and striving for success. But in reality, working in the nightlife industry is filled with unhealthy, chaotic, and corrupting influences every day. Many people feel embarrassed when they return to their hometowns and meet relatives and friends, unable to mention their job. They might say they are working in the medical beauty industry, when in fact, many young men in nightlife are getting cosmetic surgery, or they might say they are doing some other job. Lying makes a person live in great fatigue and even makes life become hypocritical. Many people enter this field, and the result is that every day they gather with a few people to discuss how to please a young woman or how to play tricks on an older woman. There's a term in the industry called seize the opportunity and get out of the game. This kind of life repeats day after day, and your worldview might be shattered. Ultimately, your integrity and clear thoughts will gradually disappear. I have some friends who have worked in this industry for a long time, and they have gradually lost themselves in the routine of everyday life. Many people, after spending a few years in this industry, become physically and mentally exhausted, and they lose the ideals and pursuits they once had. Some people even hide their marital status in life. Though they are not young anymore, they still rely on older clients, so-called rich women, to support their lives. But they still believe they have talent, yet nowhere to show it. Every day they just take a few people and muddle through their lives, drinking from morning till night, mumbling about their past glories. In reality, such a lifestyle is unsustainable, and problems will arise sooner or later. Sometimes I also see some young nightlife bloggers sharing how hard it has been for them, how they have to drink heavily every day to earn money, as if they have endured countless hardships and difficulties. But I want to ask, many people might know that every early morning or just before dawn, you often see some people at various late-night eateries, drinking and having fun. These people are mostly nightlife workers who have just finished their shift, and haven't had enough to drink yet. Indeed, everyone has the right to make their own choices. However, I also know that many people have difficulty listening to their parents' and teachers' advice since they were young. So, I have no other intention. I merely want to share what I've seen, heard, and felt, and the thoughts that have occurred to me. I hope these words can serve as a wake-up call for some young people, to prevent them from walking down the path of the nightlife industry and entering this circle.
真的，即使你再有钱，我都劝你不要去追夜场工作的女生。看
Honestly, even if you have all the money in the world, I would still advise you not to pursue women working in nightclubs. I dare say that many men might have already tried this, and if you've ever said something like, well, she's actually quite pitiful, she's different from the others, about a nightclub girl, then you've probably already been taken advantage of. So why do I advise you not to pursue women working in nightclubs? First, The vast majority of women working in nightclubs may have come from dysfunctional families. Many of these women grew up lacking love, perhaps because their families favored boys and ignored them, or because their parents were too busy working to care for them. As a result, they might not learn to value themselves. So they choose to hang out in nightclubs, dining, drinking, and having fun with men, in order to fill the emptiness and loneliness inside. Secondly, these women often have a clear characteristic. They are used to others spending money on them, and they'll smile in return. They might seem pitiful, but in reality, they don't care about their image in others' eyes, nor do they have any sense of family values. As long as they encounter a man who treats them well and provides them with material satisfaction, they might instantly forget about you, even casting you aside without a second thought. So, if you think she's that special girl, you might be terribly mistaken. Thirdly, women working in nightclubs tend to be very self-centered. They only care about their own feelings and interests, rarely considering the needs of others. Their lives revolve around selfishness and enjoyment, and emotionally, they don't know how to love others. If you are with her, you might find that you're always giving your time, energy, and money, while she keeps demanding more. Such a relationship offers no happiness whatsoever. Fourthly, many women working in nightclubs are already used to earning money through shortcuts, living a quick and easy lifestyle. Even if you genuinely want to teach them how to earn income through legitimate means and help them find their own self-worth, they may be unwilling to try. They have no interest in change, and they won't even put in a bit of effort. After a period of persuasion and attempts, you may find that they'll return to square one, re-entering the nightclub and continuing the work they're most familiar with. So, gentlemen, if you don't want to be deeply dragged into this type of relationship, I sincerely suggest that you think twice before proceeding.
酒吧夜场能不去就不要去了。
Brothers, if you can avoid going to bars and nightclubs, it's better not to go. I'm telling you, nowadays, a lot of people really have no bottom line. Some young girls and boys, aged 17 or 18, even 19, spend their days hanging out in bars, and many of them even work in bars. To make money, they are willing to do anything, using unscrupulous means. They'll cheat if they can, they'll cross any line if they can, and they don't care about the consequences for you. Not long ago, there was a trending incident online about a young man who saw some girls who seemed nice in a party organized by someone he met on a social media app. He thought he would join the fun, but when he got there, he didn't see any particularly beautiful girls, just the kind that everyone knows are pretty average looking. However, the organizer told him that if he paid 300 yuan, they would arrange for a one-on-one meeting, and he could even take a girl home after drinking. To be honest, such things are nothing new to them. So, the young man agreed, drank some alcohol, and as he got more drunk, it naturally happened that he took one of the girls home. But not long after, he felt unwell, went to the hospital, and had symptoms like a fever. After a checkup, he found out that he had contracted HIV. You might think this is just a coincidence, but you can't imagine how extreme today's young people are. In an economic downturn, people's moral bottom lines and principles are continuously declining, which means the risks are also increasing. So, quickly advise your friends who like to go to nightclubs to be careful and not to make decisions they'll regret later.
90%以上的男生都接受不了女生去夜场蹦迪。
I want to tell all the girls one fact. Over 90% of men actually can't accept girls going to nightclubs to dance. Why? As a man, I know very well what's on our minds. Nightclubs are places where you can find all kinds of people. People from different social levels mixed together, and it's really a place full of chaos. The environment here is extremely complicated, and you could even say it's very dangerous. You know, after a few drinks, with the colorful lights flashing, a lot of things could happen. Some things that are even unspeakable might take place. Danger lurks in every corner. In fact, almost no man goes to a nightclub to show off any special talent or to taste high-end alcohol. To put it bluntly, the purpose of going is to look for something improper. Even if they don't find it, they still want to take advantage of the situation. So, girls, if your boyfriend stops you from going to nightclubs, please don't think he's outdated or petty. The truth is, he cares about you, truly loves you, and doesn't want you to be harmed in those places.
We all know that the girls in nightclubs are very beautiful and tall. But even though they are very pretty, I must remind everyone to stay away from nightclub girls. In fact, I believe that girls from nightclubs are definitely not suitable for marriage. Firstly, many nightclub girls are not suitable for marriage because they lack love from an early age. These girls often grow up in emotionally barren environments, which makes it difficult for them to truly love themselves, let alone love others. Therefore, their behavior tends to be extremely selfish, only considering their own desires and needs. In such circumstances, even if you marry her, it will be hard to receive true love and care from her. Secondly, nightclub girls are often very materialistic. You might think that by showing your sincerity, love, and effort, you can win her over and eventually marry her. However, the truth is, the reason you want her favor is because you can currently satisfy some of her material needs. When you no longer meet these conditions, leaving you is not a big deal for her. She might continue to look for other things she wants in the outside world and completely forget about you. Thirdly, after marrying her, your dignity might be lost. The lifestyle of nightclub girls is often very free, and in such environments, their behavior tends to become more unrestrained. In family life, she might display a strong desire to dominate, telling you what to do, and you must obey her. She has become accustomed to the lifestyle in the nightclub environment and has little sense of dignity or responsibility. Finally, nightclub girls like to pursue quick money and a lavish lifestyle. You might think that she will change for the family or give up the nightclub for the sake of love, but the reality is often the opposite. They usually won't change their lifestyle through hard work, but will instead look for someone they can depend on, like you, to maintain their daily expenses and luxurious life. After marriage, they will continue their habits of spending money recklessly, shopping, drinking, and partying. They are used to earning money quickly and enjoy this carefree consumption style, without considering the economic balance and shared responsibility in a marriage. Do you like going to nightclubs? Feel free to leave your comment. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Your support is very important to us, and we will continue to provide you with better content. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.